For years, Europe was drowning in cocaine. Tons of it crossed borders, passed through ports, and flooded the streets of major cities. Police knew the drugs were coming from South America. They knew the routes. They knew the networks. But they couldn't touch the man behind it all. His name was Darko Šarić, a man who started as a nobody in the Balkans and became one of the most powerful cocaine traffickers Europe had ever seen. This is the story of the Balkan Cocaine King. Darko Šarić was not a flashy gangster. He didn't seek fame. He didn't post photos with luxury cars or gold watches. Instead, he built something far more dangerous, a silent, disciplined, international drug empire that connected South America, the Balkans, and Western Europe. At the peak of his power, Šarić controlled cocaine shipments worth billions of euros. Entire ports were compromised. Officials were bribed. Criminal groups across Europe worked for him or feared him. To understand how Darko Šarić became the Balkan Cocaine King, we need to go back to the chaos of the 1990s. Darko Šarić was born in Montenegro, part of the former Yugoslavia. The region he grew up in was shaped by war, poverty, and political collapse. After Yugoslavia fell apart, the Balkans became a perfect breeding ground for organized crime. Weapons, cigarettes, fuel, and people were smuggled across borders. Criminal networks replaced broken institutions. Šarić learned early that power didn't come from law. It came from connections, loyalty, and fear. At first, he wasn't involved in drugs. He moved money. He invested in businesses. He learned how to hide wealth and stay invisible. But soon, he saw a bigger opportunity: cocaine. By the early 2000s, Europe's demand for cocaine was exploding. South American cartels needed reliable partners who could move massive shipments safely into Europe. Šarić became that partner. He built direct connections with producers in Colombia, Bolivia, and Brazil. Instead of buying small amounts, he invested millions up front. This allowed him to move cocaine by the ton. His network used cargo ships, private yachts, and shipping containers. The drugs were hidden among legal goods, fruit, grain, industrial materials. Ports in Spain, Italy, Belgium, and the Netherlands became key entry points. And from there, the cocaine spread across Europe. At its peak, Darko Šarić's organization was moving several tons of cocaine per year. Each shipment was worth hundreds of millions of euros. This wasn't street-level crime. This was corporate-level trafficking. Šarić operated like a CEO. He delegated tasks. He minimized direct contact. He used encrypted phones and trusted intermediaries. If someone failed him, they were replaced. If someone betrayed him, they disappeared. Authorities later described his organization as one of the most sophisticated criminal networks Europe had ever seen. For years, Šarić was untouchable. But in 2009, everything changed. International law enforcement launched Operation Balkan Warrior, a massive joint investigation involving Serbian police, European agencies, and the DEA. The breakthrough came when a ship carrying more than 2 tons of cocaine was intercepted near Uruguay. This single seizure exposed the scale of Šarić's empire. Suddenly, the Balkan Cocaine King was no longer a rumor. He was Europe's most wanted drug lord. As arrests spread across Europe, Darko Šarić vanished. For years, no one knew where he was. Some believed he was hiding in South America. Others claimed he was protected by powerful figures in the Balkans. Despite international arrest warrants, he remained free. His ability to disappear only increased his legend. In the underworld, Darko Šarić became a symbol of ultimate success, a man who beat the system. In 2014, after years on the run, Darko Šarić surrendered to Serbian authorities. The arrest made headlines across Europe. Prosecutors described him as one of the biggest drug traffickers in modern European history. The trial was long, complex, and filled with controversy. Witnesses were intimidated. Evidence disappeared. Legal loopholes were exploited. In a shocking twist, Šarić was initially acquitted due to lack of evidence. But the story didn't end there. Years later, new charges emerged, including money laundering and organizing a criminal group. In 2022, Darko Šarić was finally convicted and sentenced to a long prison term. The Balkan Cocaine King had fallen, but his legacy remains. His story exposed how fragile European security systems were, how organized crime could operate across borders with military precision, and how one man from a small Balkan country could flood an entire continent with drugs. Darko Šarić didn't just sell cocaine. He built an empire based on silence, fear, and absolute control. His rise and fall is not just a crime story, it's a warning. Because as long as there is demand, there will always be another king waiting to rise.